Hello, the following Boston Centerless video illustrates the impact of diameter variation on Swiss operations. Specifically, it will show how diameter variation dictates the amount of operator involvement needed in order to keep the machine running well, how it impacts your end product in terms of dimensional capability, and lastly, how it impacts the overall cost efficiency of the entire manufacturing process. Here you'll see a basic schematic of a Swiss machine. In the Swiss, the material rides inside the guide bushing as it feeds through to the actual cutting operations. It is the bushing to bar clearance that significantly impacts your ability to hold finished dimensions. Let's look at two examples of how diameter variation impacts the Swiss. First, let's assume we set the machine's running clearance at a typical 4/10 of an inch, using a high spot on the bar diameter. As the bar progresses through the bushing, the diameter gets smaller. If the incoming bar has a 1/1000th tolerance and you see the full range of that tolerance, you will end up with a total clearance of 14/10, or almost 1/1000th and a half. This is approximately 3 times the initial running clearance that you set, which can lead to making bad parts. The operator now has two choices. He can either shut the machine down to reset the bushing clearance, or he can continue operations but run the risk of making bad parts which will later need sorting. In either case, your costs are increased. The second example occurs when you set the running clearance on a low spot on the bar diameter. Now, as the bar progresses through the bushing, the diameter gets larger. Again, if the incoming bar uses the full 1/1000th diameter tolerance, you will end up with a negative 6/10 running clearance, or in essence a press fit. If you achieve this, there is no amount of coolant that will solve this issue. So again, the operator has two options. He can shut down the machine to reset the clearance, or he can continue operating with the end result being a seized bushing, or worse yet, a bushing that is spun in its housing. If this occurs, you'll have a costly repair and potentially days or weeks of downtime. To learn more about this topic, please visit our website for a more in-depth video on this subject, or schedule a Lunch and Learn presentation. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate your business.